Hi guys, I'm with Leah today. She just come back for a rebalance and we have done this look for her at the end. It's like a faded baby boomer and purple pinkish color with some Aurora powder. So if you want to know how this have been created, stay with me. My name is Dorota Palicka, international nail artist and educator, and I produce every Monday new video for you with the nail art and also some salon rebalance designs and lots of other useful hints and tips for every nail tech. So stay with us. So that's the nails which we are going to do, and it will be a rebalance, but there is a one broken which I will also show you how to do the forms. So I'm starting with the product removal. I put my drill not too high speed and the fan just to take the dust away, and then remove the color. You can also see all the tape around my fingers. That's just from filing all day. We had a really busy day today in the salon, so try to kind of protect my fingers. And I think this tape is amazing, really. I really like this bead as well because it's really nice and quick for a product removal. And that's the safety bead. You can also get it from our website, which is www.nailperfect.net. I'll give you a link in the description. Okay, so I have done the biggest removal of the product. And now I can tidy up my cuticles, so I'll be using a slightly different bead and then shape the nails. So at this stage I will be pushing back the cuticle. Like, you have to be kind of strong and firm, but not hurting the client. And using the blue scrub, which is a nail dehydrator, I'm going to dehydrate the nail plate. Someone is going to drink at the weekend, bless you. Me too, actually. Patrick is having a birthday, so it will be a nice one. But I have dehydrated the nail plate because I don't want any oils to be transferred when I'm etching the surface of the natural nail. So this is definitely a good tip for you guys. And I'm just removing the shine from the natural nail and blend the growth. I also shape the nails a little bit. I'm not too bothered about the shape at this stage because I still need to apply a fresh product, and then that will be the time when I will be doing most of the shaping. So really just to blend a little bit and remove the bulkage of the product from the free edge. I'll show you maybe on those two nails what I'm going to do. So basically one more, nice and straight, shorten the free edge a little bit. Etch the surface of the natural nail. And basically that's the nail ready for a rebalance. So we have to, actually I've got one more, okay, we'll do it one more. And then I will be tidy up the cuticles. Again, not too much, because you are going to file later on as well, so you don't want to hurt the client if you overwork the cuticle at this stage. And now I can take my cuticle bit, so that's the one I'm going to use. So again, not too big speed on it, and then I'm going to work one side first. Make sure your cuticle bit kind of lie and you don't go too straight. You don't want to dig in the hole in there. And then go into the reverse to do the other side of the cuticle. So yeah, that's my nails all nice and ready. I can remove the dust and then dehydrate them well. I didn't worry too much about the shape because it's not the stage when I'm kind of working on the shape yet. So just do the same on the other hand. And here is the nice one because I can show you how to apply the form as well. There is a proper video like what to do if we have to cut the forms on my YouTube channel as well, so you can search that. That's the form I'm going to use it, and you just have to pull it, put the sticker on the other side, and then pre-pinch it in between your fingers. I quite like to close my forms, and I think I've got a pretty good hand. So when I'm working on the client, I hide the view for them so they don't see what I'm doing, because otherwise they put the hand into the funny positions, and this way it's much easier to apply the form. Actually, I might get away with not cutting this form. Yeah, and then just close it. Not sore?
That's okay.
She's got a high hyponychium, so it might be pretty painful if we go too deep. And then just dehydrate this as well. And apply the universal air bond. So the universal air bond is brilliant for both gels and acrylics, because you don't have to cure it, and just gives you a really nice adhesion. It's great. I'm going to use the soft pink gel because we will be doing like a kind of a faded effect, like a baby boomer with the purple color, and then some Aurora powder on top of it. So I think it will look really really nice. The first layer goes on really nice and thin, like a nail polish. So just nice and thin, like a normal nail polish. And then after that, I'm going to build up a little bit of structure. So just nice and thin. Never do it with the natural nail because I've got artificial nails, I could touch it. So nice and thin. And now just a tiny bit on the structure. So I'm picking up the scoop and working on my apex. At the end of the nail, I've got lots of product, so I don't need to apply it. I'm removing the excess of it, and I will be still shaping the bulk of the product I've got at the free edge. So just a tiny bit of the product to fill up the growth. That's it. So here I can see it, I'm missing a bit more on this side. And what is great, because we have applied a thin amount of the product with the first layer we have done, we don't need to put any more in there. And you could see like what condition the nails come back after 4 weeks. And on the thumb. Now I had slightly lifting on the side of this thumb, so I need to apply a tiny bit more product just on this side so I can kind of balance it out. And yeah, I can cure this hand. So I'm going to do exactly the same on the other hand, but you don't need to see that. I will just show you how I'm sculpting the fresh one. So the fresh one, I'm obviously needing 2 layers. So what I'm doing is applying a nice and thin layer all over the natural nail, picking up a scoop of the product at the free edge where I'm going to extend it. And I usually go a little bit bigger than what I want to have, just so I've got a little bit more room to shape. But because it's a thin layer, it doesn't take too long to shape it. And this is going to be my skeleton, after which I need to cure and then rebuild a structure on this nail. Oh, that's the nail cure, and I'm going to apply it another thin layer all over. And then build up my structure. Now I need to check the side view for the apex, which gives the strength to it. Yeah, and I can cure it. So this hand is ready. I can just remove the inhibition layer and start filing and shaping this hand. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Again, I will do 1 to a nail and then file the rest on my own. So keep your file nice and straight. We want the side walls nice and straight. So nice and straight. Nice and straight. And also this way you have indicated like where the nail is coming up straight. Then you can shape a little bit at the free edge and then go file around the cuticle area. Make sure you blend everything in here so there is nothing to catch. Okay, check the hairline view at the free edge, make sure it's nice and smooth. And basically that's all my filing done. I would just repeat on this nail too. So nice and straight, nice and straight. Now all around the cuticle area, even out all over, shape the free edge. And you don't have to necessarily buff every single place, like you can skip some places because you are going to use the buffer later on as well. So as long as there is not huge bumps, you don't have to necessarily file it all new. Okay, and now I can take the buffer. So these 2 are filed. Now I can take the buffer, and with the buffer I'm able to see if there is any more places I need to touch. So basically what I usually do is like, just for the quickness, the buffer is very sharp at the beginning, so the top I can go pretty quick, and then around the cuticle I want to make sure everything is blended in. Can you see this place there in the camera? Like, it is not blended properly, so I need to touch it up because it needs to be completely blended, because that's where the liftings are starting, like on the sides or here at the top of the cuticle. And you can also see I'm using those tape just because I'm protecting all the time clients' hands from cuts. So this way I can file a little bit quicker, but obviously my fingers get quite a lot of those buffers and files. That's why I think this tape is amazing, and it comes in a roll like this. I really suggest, guys, you get yourself one like this too. Okay, and this one is done. So the same on this one, like I need to tidy up all this area here around the cuticle. Has to be all blend in to the natural nail. And yeah, these nails are basically ready for the application of the product. So I'm just going to do it that on all of them, and then I will come back to you. So yeah, all buffed in. Just remove the dust and then clean the nails. Also, I've got really ugly cuticle there, which I'm going to trim it. No, I don't need the tapes anymore, which is awesome. Basically what I'm doing, just removing any sticking out ones, like here. I can clean the nails, and we are going to do the faded purple color. So I'm going to use the sponge and my brush. I will apply a tiny bit of the product right at the ends of the nails. It's a really nice color. And now I need to fade it, and so the first fade, it has to be very delicate. I'm peeling down the lateral folds and blending. You can hardly see any color going on it because the sponge is absorbing the first color quite a lot, but I want this look. I want like hardly anything on it. So there is just a little tint of this color going on. And now, what is great, the sponge has absorbed some color, so I can just quickly touch it there, and the sponge absorbs some of the color, so the second layer is going to be a little bit more visible. I don't need to cure it at this stage yet, but I still wanted it to be very blended in, so I'm pressing pretty hard with the sponge. Once it's cured, I can apply another layer. And I find that's the nicest. I could go with the second and that's it, but the nicest fades I usually get in a 3 layers. So this is the second time I'm going to cure. And now I'm start dabbing more gentle. So I'm much more gentle. And I think I will go the third time as well, but first cure this one. And the last one, so the last one, when you apply it on, you can apply it kind of almost like a French and be even more gentle with the blending, just to get like a really strong color right at the end of the free edge. So I'm the most gentle with this layer, just so I can get those color visible. Then I can cure it, apply the top coat and the Aurora powder just for a nice glow. So I'm going to cure it. And now I can apply the no wipe top coat. Nice and thin. Because we are going to use the Aurora powder, and sometimes when we dabbing in with the sponge there might be some tiny bits and pieces. What I find that usually buffing the top coat and then reapply it is making like an absolutely amazing surface. Like the Aurora powders or any kind of chromes, they need to go on extremely smooth surface, like with no bits and pieces, no pitting, nothing on it. And the sponges quite often bring some air in it, and there might be some bits and pieces. So the great tip for you, because it doesn't take extra long time, I mean couple minutes really, just to apply the top coat and rebuff the nails and to apply the top coat again, but this way you get a much nicer results, and that's what we are going to do. So I will cure it, buff it, change. That's it cured, and I can buff it. And you could see there was a wee pitting there, like, and the buffing has to be very gentle because obviously you don't want to take the, we've got only top coat in there. So 2 more. And then apply the Aurora powder. I really like the Aurora powder, and I think on top of the purple it will look just stunning. Also, I will appreciate your feedback if you like those kind of tutorials straight from the salon. They are slightly different to the ones I do it in a studio, but I think they're kind of interesting as well. I mean, yeah, it's only my opinion, so I want to know yours. Because it is kind of like an everyday life from the work. So you know what kind of clients I do, what nails they get, and okay, really extremely well clean any dust now, because this top coat has to go nice and thin, no pitting on it, nothing, because the Aurora powder doesn't like it. And also we had the time, because we was buffing all the time, we had the time for the dust to come down a little bit, so it's not going to fly as much as it was after the rebalance. So I'm checking for any dust. And apply the top coat on all of them. And now we are going to cure it. So that's the nails cure, and I'm just going to apply the powder on the tip of my finger and dab it in on the nails first. Just touch it so you kind of bring a little bit of the pigment in, and then start massaging it in. It looks so nice, and you can see how smooth the surface is just because we have removed any dust. There was no dust, so we don't get any kind of pitting in the top coat, which is showing really extremely with any kind of crumbs. Now I'm still rubbing it in with my fingers because I want to kind of remove the excess of the powder, any kind of bits and pieces of the powder which are left and go into the top coat gives you this kind of grainy look, and you don't want that. You want those chrome, nice and shiny mirror kind of look. Because we have used the no wipe top coat, which is no inhibition layer and no rough surface, it is really more likely that this is going to chip. So that's why I'm buffing and creating a little bit of scratches at the free edge, and this way my top coat is going to stick into that and protect the nail from the chipping. And then remove the dust and also any extra powder which is on the nail, and then we can top coat it so the clients can wear it for a couple of weeks with no risk of chipping. So just entire surface of the nail and come the free edge. We just had a wee chat with the girls as well about like all those kind of baby boomer or faded ombre looks, and they're really popular at the moment. And doing it with the gel polishes, it sometimes can take quite a long time. So I prefer the hard gels for that, the gels from the pot, because they are usually more pigmented compared to the gel polishes, and then the sponge really nicely works for this technique. So I'm just applying the top coat, and it's nothing overly too complicated, but lots of clients request those kind of designs. Also, if you've got any other ideas or requests, what else would you like to see, just leave me the comment down below and here, and I will be happy to produce those kind of videos for you. So Leah is just going to cure this hand for 60 seconds for a nice and shiny look, and this hand is finished. I just need to really clean it from the dust, and I can show you the final look. Apply the cuticle oil. Also remember, every Monday we've got some easy salon nail art coming up for you. So every single Monday I'm just putting a new tutorial up for you. If you're new in here, you can subscribe as well, because there will be also lots of extra videos related to the nail and health and safety and lots of other interesting things. Also the salon rebalance as well for a client, so you can see that's the finished look, and the other hand is finished as well. I can show you the second one too. So really nice and shiny purple baby boomer. Looks a bit pinky-ish as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.